Dark Shadows, number 63, VTR 31667, Air 32967, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. Collinwood is a vast and sprawling place. Its rooms are many. Its halls a labyrinth, stretching from high turrets to deep cellars. And of all its many rooms, there is one, built deep into the very foundations of Collinwood. And this one room seems to inspire different emotions in different people. In some it is curiosity. In some it is desperation. In some it is fear.
I should think it would be all too obvious.
You can't break in there.
I'm certainly going to try.
Stop it, you hear me?
I will on one condition.
What's that?
Give me that key.
I don't know where the key is.
Then you give me no alternative.
I forbid you to enter that room.
I'm sorry, but I've got to.
And you leave me with no alternative. If you as much as put a hand on that door again, you can leave Collinwood for good.
Liz, you can't be serious.
Can't I? I wouldn't try to find out if I were you.
What could possibly be in there?
What's in that room is no concern of yours.
Well, maybe not. But why is it such concern to you?
I don't think I've had to answer questions about my own house.
It's I've got to get in there.
I absolutely forbid it.
All right, then you go in there.
Why?
I've just told you I'm looking for some paintings.
I've just told you they're not in there.
Well, then what is in there?
Just some personal belongings.
But isn't it possible that these paintings could be hidden amongst them?
They're not.
Liz, I've got to look for these paintings.
But why?
I have promised Sam Evans that they could be used in a showing that may be given.
Do you expect me to believe that you're going to all this trouble for Sam Evans?
Yes.
Why, you dislike him intensely. You're the last person in the world that would do a favor for him.
That's not necessarily true.
Roger, you're my brother, and I love you. But I have no illusions about your willingness to oblige.
Neither do I. But I told Sam Evans that I would look for these paintings, and I'm a man of my word.
Roger, you wouldn't go from here to there for Sam, and you know it.
I tell you it's important to him that he have these paintings. He says his career depends on it.
Since when have you had anything but contempt for his career?
Liz, I'm not going to argue with you. I've got to look for these paintings.
As a favor to Sam?
Yes.
Just doesn't make sense. At least I hope it doesn't.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, I hope you have no reason to have to do a favor for Sam Evans.
Of course I don't have to. I told him I would, and I will.
Are you keeping something from me?
No. Are you keeping something from me?
No, of course not.
That room is really just filled with your personal belongings?
Yes?
And that is the truth?
Yes. They're just old things of Paul's. Yes, that's it. When Paul went away, I put his things in there, and I don't want anyone disturbing them.
I see.
You can understand that, can't you?
Of course. And you can understand me when I tell you that I gave my word to Sam Evans. So I will have to do everything in my power to help him try to find those paintings. You believe that and understand that, don't you?
He won't find them. I know he won't.
Pop, you've got to stop stewing about it every minute of the day and the night.
I can't help it. I've got to have those paintings.
I know. Do me one favor, will you?
What's that?
Tell me who he is.
Oh, just some man. A man I sold some paintings to.
Someone around here?
Well, that's not important. What's important is that I've got to get those paintings back.
Well, if he said he'd find them, he will.
If he can find them.
Oh, now I don't get it. How can someone just lose 10 to a dozen paintings?
Oh, no. They're not lost. They can't be.
Well, then stop worrying about it.
Thought you were going to work.
I am. Just that I hate to leave you when you're feeling like this.
Oh, I'm feeling all right. Now, you go on.
Are you sure there's nothing I can do for you? Hey, how about if I talk to that man myself?
No. I mean, it isn't necessary. He'll find them. He'd better find them, or else.
Or else what? Now, what does that mean?
Well, or else I've lost a big opportunity, a chance for a great reputation.
That's not what it sounded like.
Are you going to go to work, or aren't you?
All right, I'm going.
Maggie,
What?
wait. I didn't mean to yell at you.
Well, I guess I ought to be used to it by now.
Once those paintings are found, once I've got the reputation that I deserve, then I'll make it all up to you, Maggie. Be no more work for you. You're going to get everything that's coming to you.
I know.
Yes. That's why I've got to get those paintings. Not just for my sake, but for yours, too. For both of us. That's why he's got to find them. That's why he's got to give them to me.
The trouble with you, Willie, is that you have no faith in me. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I told you I'd be living in Collinwood within a week. And I am. And if I say I'm going to do anything else, it'll be done, believe me. Oh, why, Mrs. Stoddard and I are the best of friends. Oh, she's a wonderful woman. Generous. The same as I always thought she would be. Well, of course. You and I'll be meeting later. And I'll have more to tell you then about how wonderful and generous Mrs. Stoddard can be.
Elizabeth, don't you look lovely? I was hoping I'd meet you. I want to talk to you.
What do you want?
Please, sit down. Well, there's a little matter I'd like to settle with you. Would you care for a glass of sherry?
No,
perhaps?
thank you. Jason, what is it?
Well, Liz, you know how much I enjoy living here at Collinwood. How easily I respond to this way of life.
So I've noticed.
Well, good. Then you won't have any difficulty in understanding a small request from me.
A request for what?
Well,
let me put it to you this way. It's the transitions. The transitions between the way of life I live here at Collinwood and the way of life I live when I go to town. These transitions, I find somewhat disturbing.
What are you trying to say?
I'd like to be a little more consistent in my way of living.
And what does that mean?
If I'm going to live in a manner consistent with the way of life around here, I'm afraid I'm going to have a little assistance.
You mean money?
Well, that's what it seems to take.
Absolutely not.
It needn't be too great an amount, sort of like an allowance.
I said no.
Something consistent with the generosity you've already shown me.
Didn't you hear me?
Why, no, I don't believe I did.
I said I wasn't going to give you any money.
Funny. I still don't seem to be able to hear you, which is probably just as well for your sake.
What do you mean?
Well, for your sake, I hope you'll agree to my simple little request.
Why for my sake?
Because if you don't, all I lose is an allowance. You perhaps could lose a great deal more.
I refuse to be threatened.
Threatened? Well, now, who's threatening? Certainly not I. I was only making a very simple observation.
Were you?
Of course. Besides, what do I have that could possibly threaten you? I was hoping you'd do it out of friendship, for old time's sake. How about it, Liz? For old time's sake.
Don't tell me you can't find them. You've got to find them.
I tell you, I've looked everywhere.
No, you haven't. Otherwise, you would have found them.
Do you have any idea of the size of Collingwood? The grounds, the buildings?
I'm not interested.
I've searched them all with no result.
Then search again. And don't come back until you do have results.
Listen, Evans, I have been patient and reasonable with you long enough.
Have you? I haven't noticed.
There is an end to everything.
Yes, there certainly is. Just like the end of my silence.
You won't go to Burke, and I know it.
I won't?
No, you won't.
Why? What makes you think so? Because I'm implicated too?
Exactly.
Why? What if I said I didn't care?
I wouldn't believe you.
What if I said the satisfaction I might derive out of seeing you get what you deserve would more than compensate?
I still wouldn't believe you.
I think you might be very foolish.
I doubt it.
We'll see then.
I've told you 1,000 times that I would give you these paintings if I could find them.
Then find them.
And I've told you 1,000 times that I can't find them.
All right, then that does it. I'm going to Burke, and I'm going to tell him all I know.
All right, then. That does it. Goodbye.
I mean it, Roger.
So do I.
It'll mean jail, Roger, for perjury and manslaughter.
It'll mean the end of a few things for you, too. The respect from your friends and your loving daughter.
You leave Maggie out of this.
I'd be only too willing to. But when the truth is out, it'll be known all over town.
You'll rot in jail. You'll see. You'll see. You wait.
And where will you rot, Evans? Here, under the loving gaze of your daughter?
Get out. Get out of here before I kill you.
I'm going. And I won't be coming back. And you wouldn't get those paintings now, even if I did find them.
Ah, Mr. Collins. Come in, come in.
Thank you. It's not very often that a man is invited into his own drawing room.
Join me in a brandy.
And it's not very often that I'm offered some of my own brandy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understood that Collinwood and everything in it belonged to Mrs. Stoddard. My mistake. I apologize.
Collinwood belongs to the family. Any member of the family is entitled to anything that it has to offer.
Ah, well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. It puts a little deeper meaning on something that your sister said to me just
Oh?
this afternoon, yes.
And what was that?
That while I'm living here at Collinwood, I should try to feel like a member of the family.
Somehow that doesn't sound like my sister.
Oh, really? it does to me. Liz has always been such a friendly person. Such warmth and generosity from her seems perfectly natural to me.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you expect to be a member of this family for a very long time?
Probably not for too long. I don't want to wear out my welcome, you see. Although Liz did make it seem rather durable. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to know that we're still friends after all these years.
I find it no less than amazing.
Oh, really? Well, I feel I'd be doing your sister a great injustice were I to feel that she was anything but the loyal friend she's always been.
We seem to have different pictures of my sister.
Well, that's to be expected. She probably has different feelings about the two of us. I can only say it makes me very happy if I bring out her friendlier qualities.
May I ask more precisely how long you plan to stay here?
Well, I would say that that's up to Liz. Like everything else around here.
Hi, Pop. Pop, I know you're worried about those paintings, and I sympathize, but only up to a point.
Recognition. I could have had recognition.
Yeah, well, I would hate to have anybody recognize you in this condition. I'll make you some coffee.
I don't want any.
Well, you're going to drink it anyway.
My whole life. Waste. Chance of a lifetime is gone.
Well, maybe he'll still find the paintings.
No, he won't find them. He looked, he couldn't find them.
Pop, you've heard from him?
He stood right there with his stupid face hanging out. His stupid wave face and his beady little eyes shifting all over the place. I could have strangled him on the spot.
Was he absolutely sure that they were lost?
Oh, he said he looked, searched Collinwood from top to bottom.
Collinwood?
Yeah, and then he comes in here and is whining.
Collinwood? Did you say Collinwood?
What?
You said Collinwood.
I did.
Well, then the man that bought the paintings was Roger Collins.
Roger? No. That couldn't have been Roger.
But you said that he searched Collinwood.
No, I didn't mean Collinwood.
Pop, was it Roger Collins?
No, it wasn't.
It was.
All right, it was then.
Pop, those were the paintings that you sold 10 years ago.
Can I sell paintings to anyone that wants to buy them?
But why Roger? Why would he want to buy them?
Because they're good paintings.
You might think so, and I think so, but Roger Collins?
He thought so, too. That's why I sold them to him.
Pop, that was the time that you were paid $15,000.
Well, that's not an exorbitant amount of money for 10 paintings.
Well, it was then. It was more than you were ever paid before.
But not more than I deserved.
But more than they were worth to a man like Roger
They
Collins.
were worth much more. Twice as much to anyone.
Pop, why wouldn't you tell me that it was Roger Collins that bought those paintings?
Because it wasn't important.
Well, it was important enough for you to deny.
I didn't deny it. I just admitted it.
But at first you denied it, and you kept it a secret for 10 years.
Well, Roger wanted it that way. He said that he didn't want anybody to know that he liked my paintings.
Pop, that's not true.
It is true. Now will you leave me alone?
Pop! That money, that $15,000, it wasn't for those paintings, was it?
I tell you, it was for the paintings.
Was it?
What was it for, then? Well, what was it for? Tell me.
I don't...
Tell me!
I don't know.
You don't know!
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it was for.
No! I don't want to hear!
You do. I don't care.
Pop, no. Just tell me it was for the paintings. It was. You always said so. Just tell me it was for the paintings, and I'll believe you.
It was for...
It was so you wouldn't testify. You saw Roger Collins driving that car, not Burke. You saw Roger kill that man. And Roger paid you so you wouldn't...
No. No.
Pop, why did you do it? What did you do it for? Why?
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.